Hello everybody, welcome to Magic the Gathering. This is Travis, and this is the only person that Magic will let me play with anymore. And they get to go first, so they're going to win. It's pretty much the way it works. I'm probably going to miss a land drop or something. Alright, I can counter target creature spell with power toughness 2 or less. So that gets rid of one legendary overpowered card. They still get to scry. Another creature, toughness is 2 or less, so that one can be countered. And they continue pinging me to death with this one. One more. They have another Elvish Mariner. Of course they do. We'll get rid of that. Alright, we'll bring down our creature. They usually have a Fading Hope or something. Another Elvish Mariner. How about that? And Elven Farsight to scry. They didn't like any of their cards, but they get to tap my creature. They did reveal a Fading Hope up on the top. They keep the Fading Hope. They like the Fading Hope. Alright, let's do 5 damage to you. And we might as well attack. Glorfindel, Dauntless Rescuer. No. It's legendary, so the ring tempts you. The Fading Hope, so that I won't be tempted. I mean, I'll still get the 1 activation on the emblem, but it won't have any creature to target and make the ring bearer. Alright. They're just about out of ammo after all my counter spells. We'll block that there. We will deal... let's deal 5 damage to it here. That way they took some extra damage. And they got a lot of creatures. Yeah, 5 damage. Oh, we get to draw 2 as well, because we have a wizard. So if you control a wizard, you get to choose 2 instead. So we draw 2, and we're getting rid of this one. Sweet. We'll also bring down Palantir of Orthonk. No attacks. And we will take this. We'll put that down there. Now they get to choose. They mill it. Costs them 3 points of damage. And they're going to continue to scry. I'm not going to block that. Or do I have to? Must be blocked if able. Okay, so they get rid of our creature. Nice. Alright. Let's bring down Shire. Let's go ahead and get rid of this so they can't scry anymore. And let's bring down Bilbo. We'll have Bilbo breathe the Ring Bearer. And we'll go ahead and get rid of... Actually, let's have Bilbo there. They mill it, take 3 points of damage. They get to scry again, which means that they get more power there. And she's going to attack in. I have to block. What's left for me to do here? I can draw a card there, I guess. Aha. And I can scry too. We'll get rid of those. And this can't be blocked. So we'll get rid of Antwood. And we get a treasure token. And I think they're going to mill all this stuff. Right? No, they let me draw. Sweet. Which means I get to draw this next turn. 6 points of damage. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if we control a wizard, we get to do it more often. So no attacks. They're going to let us have this, right? There we go. Their health has gotten a little too low for them to accept that anymore. They're going to have to let us draw without choosing to mill. Alright. Now, Breaking of the Fellowship. We'll have that creature will deal damage there, and we get to copy it. We'll copy that there. Can we have this one do damage to that one? Do they both work at the same time? We'll still have this be the Ring Bearer. And they scoop. Alright. We finally win! Let's go in and show you the whole deck. There's one card I'm not sure is working out. Wizards and Spells. It's going to be a short video because the event's almost over. Or at least as far as the contestants are concerned, it's almost over. It goes on for, I think, another 7.5 hours, but nobody's here. So, we got Gandalf the Grey, legendary avatar wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, choose one that hasn't been chosen. So you got 4 options. You can tap or untap target permanent, have Gandalf deal 3 damage to each opponent, or copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. When you're done with all those, you put Gandalf on top of its owner's library. So this is kind of cool. You can just cast them again and recycle them. And so because of this instant and sorcery thing, I found a pattern in some of the cards. And we'll show you those now. Let's go over to Glamdring. Equipped creature has first strike and +1 for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. So instants and sorceries in the graveyard matters for this set, which they didn't really advertise, I don't think. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to that damage without paying its mana cost. So that's pretty cool. Then over here we have Gandalf's Sanction. Gandalf's Sanction deals X damage to target creature, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. So this can get kind of high. So our whole point is to have a ton of instants and sorceries, so our Glamdring gets high power, and so that our Sanction gets high for damage, and so that we can, do stuff like Flame of Anor. Choose one. If you control a wizard, you choose 2 instead. So that's great value. For only 3 mana, we could destroy target artifact, or draw 2 cards, deal 5 damage to target creature, or any 2 of those 3 if we have a wizard out. So wizards and spells, the instants and sorceries matter. If you got a wizard out, it matters. And here's what we end up with. Only 8 creatures, 2.8 mana average, 24 lands. We've got 13 instants and 9 sorceries. And what they did with Lord of the Rings is they announced a lot of stuff. They announced the ring tempts you, right, for the 1 ring. They announced the food matters for food tokens. They announced amass for the orc zombies, so amass matters, right? The number of +1 counters on your orc army counts. And they did announce that scry matters, so there'd be a lot of scry decks. I don't remember them saying anywhere about instants and sorceries matter, but I found this little gem. So to help us out, we got Stern Scolding, counter target creature spell with power toughness 2 or less. So whichever one they have, if they could have like a power 2 toughness 10 creature, we can counter it because its power is 2. Or a 10-2 and the toughness is 2, so we counter it still. We have Glorious Gale, 4 copies, counter target creature spell. If it was a legendary spell, the ring tempts you. Fearfire Foes and X spell, damage can't be prevented this turn. It deals X damage to target creature and 1 to each other creature with the same controller. Breaking of the Fellowship, sorcery, target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to another target creature that controls. This reminds me of the Clash of Champions card. Instead of like the green spells that have your creature deal damage to another, here we just have one of their creatures deal damage to another one of their creatures. Shire Scarecrow, 0/3 defender. We can add 1 mana of any color. Sting, the Glinting Dagger, a legendary artifact. Equipped creature has +1/+1 in haste. At the beginning of each combat, you untap equipped creature, which gives me an idea for Cement Shoes from New Capenna. Equipped creature has first strike as long as it's blocking or blocked by goblin or orc, so might be good against an amass deck. 3 copies of Bilbo, Retired Burglar. When it enters or leaves the battlefield, the ring tempts you. So we've got a couple of different spells where the ring will tempt you. Here, a chance. Here, when it leaves or enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. So we can get up to 4 pretty fast. Whenever Bilbo deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. We covered Flame of Anora. We covered Gandrel's Sanction. Mithril Coat. Flash in for Indestructible. Attach it to target legendary creature you control. Equipped creature has Indestructible, so that's going to save all of our creatures because they are all legendary. We've got 1 Press the Enemy. An instant return target spell or non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hands. You can cast an instant or sorcery spell with equal or lesser value from your hand without paying its mana cost. So I'm a sucker for these cards that allow us to play from somewhere without paying the mana cost, right? I love for free. We have Gandalf, Friend of the Shire. So like Gandalf the Grey, he's another legendary avatar wizard, 2/4. We could flash him in. You can cast sorcery spells as though they had flash, so we treat sorceries like they're instants and play them anytime we want. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Gandalf, Friend of the Shire, as your ring bearer, you draw a card. So we get some card draw there potential. We also have Saruman the White, legendary avatar wizard. 4/4 with War 2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, amass orcs 2. So we got the ring tempts you mechanic in there. We got amass in there. We just didn't get any food tokens in here. I have 1 board wipe. 1 Burn Down the House that's not a Lord of the Rings card, just because we were getting swarmed by a bunch of stuff. And we have Hugh the Entwood, which I'm not sure belongs in this particular deck. But you sacrifice any number of lands, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands you sacrifice. Choose any number of artifact and or land cards revealed this way. Put all of them onto the battlefield. The land cards all come in tapped. So I've tried it a couple times, and I mostly just get a couple of lands, and then I whiff on, even though I have all of these other artifacts. It hasn't been really successful. But the final card, Palantir of Ornthanc. I have 3 copies of the legendary artifact. At the beginning of your end step, put an influence counter on it and scry 2. So I get to choose what cards are on the top. Then target opponent can have you draw a card. So I get a free card draw each turn. If the player doesn't let me draw a card, you mill X cards, where X is the number of influence counters on Palantir of Ornthanc, and the player loses life equal to the total mana value of those cards. So a lot of my opponents like to mill the first couple of cards, and then they, mill somebody like Gandalf the Grey, and it hits them for 5 points of damage, and they realize, oh shoot, I should not be milling the top of this person's deck. I should let them draw their cards. So we're either going to deal damage to our opponents, or we're going to get extra card draw. The problem is when we have all the land we want and it just shows us land and they want to mill, and if they mill our land, then there's no damage. They're just milling land away that we didn't want in the first place. So we have to scry a lot of land to the bottom. What I'm going to do, because you saw that last person didn't say good game, didn't hang around for the rest of the battle. That's technically a violation of the rules. You're supposed to hang around. But I think they're tired of playing me, because that was like our third round. They beat me twice, and then I just finally beat them. So we're going to go in, and I'm just going to demonstrate the rest of the deck with Sparky, because they won't let me play anybody else. There are other people on the server. I know, because when I switch decks, it opens up a different doorway, so to speak. It puts me in a different queue. But there's only one person in the red-blue, you know,
hey,
opponent
look.
deck kind
I'm
of
a
thing.
planeswalker.
So Sparky gets to go first. They might win just because of that. We're up against the cheap flyer deck. We should be able to catch up to him at some point. Although we only have 3 of those and we already got 2 of them, so that's not the best. But Sparky doesn't play well with this card. They don't make good decisions. We will use Stern Scolding and get rid of that now. Powers up our Gandalf Sanction. We do get a land card, so let's put out the Shire Scarecrow so that we have another mana that we can do if we need color. This is another card that maybe I should switch out. Let's do Palantir. We'll scry 2. We want the land, actually. Sparky's probably going to mill, so we'll let them take 1 land, and we'll still get 1. And let's go ahead and put out Bilbo. And we're going to choose Bilbo to be the ring bearer. And here, let's do the sanction. Let's do both of them. I think they'll just mill and take 5 points. No, they let me draw it. How about that? I did not expect that. Alright, we're starting to die, so let's do 1 point of damage there. We'll attack with what we got. Get a treasure token. Let them... Are they going to let me have that? Let's do burn down the house up top. Oh, they mill it. 3 cards, 8 points of damage. Alright, Gandalf Sanction. 4 points of damage.
Oh.
The excess goes over to them. We'll go ahead and put out Sting the Glinting Dagger. And attack. Get another treasure token. And let's get rid of that. That's a bad card. If they let us draw that, that's okay. We'll take it. We'll take it. It hasn't proven very useful. Let's go get some treasure. Let's make sure we have plenty of mana. We have this to counter spells. And we'll just take the land. They're too low. They should have a rule that tells them not to mill cards anymore, unless they just want the game to end. Let's go ahead and equip. We'll do that. In the turn. We'll go ahead and take the stuff. Whatever they... Oh, hello.
Nice job.
Okay, so Sparky doesn't play well with Palantir of Orthanc. It's a little bit too easy. But I just want to show you a teensy bit more of how the deck worked. I'm going to go in one last time with Sparky and just see if we can get some of the other spells out, just so how you can... We just want to demonstrate these cards for you. And I was playing earlier. I made a number of decks. I'm gonna upload them as fast as I can. They won't all be the same day as the event, so they'll trickle out over the next couple days.
This looks like a good spot for some practice.
But here we got Gandalf the Grey, which is a good card to show off. We'll take that. We'll bring down Bilbo. They don't attack, okay? I want to wait until I have 4 lands, so I'm going to keep Mithril Coat on standby for flashing in to make it indestructible. You know what, why don't I just make it indestructible now? If they don't have something. There we go. Okay, and next turn, I'm gonna not play Palantir of Orthanc. You already saw me win with that, and Sparky doesn't play well against it. Block with our indestructible. Burn down the house. And now we can finally attack. Get a treasure. Alright, I used my one non-Lord of the Rings card to take care of mono red aggro. Let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and put down Gandalf. And we will go ahead and attack because I want more treasure. We've got 2 copies of Gandalf, so we don't care. And now we can just sort of keep attacking and getting more treasure. And we can stop them bringing down stuff. Let's go ahead and bring out Gandalf, the other Gandalf. Get rid of you. Come on. Let's do 3 damage to target opponent. Let's do Fear Fire Foes for 3. Do it there. Auto pay. Copy it. We'll copy it there. It should copy the same X number. And we'll do that. And we clear the field.
Aww.
And we're just going to attack with the 1. They got rid of my Gandalf and they exiled him. How dare they?
Wow.
Is there anything else we want to demonstrate? I mean, I guess we can just start putting down Palantir of Orthanc finally, because the rest of this is just attacking their face, right? Gandalf Sanction, that deals against creatures. We don't need land. Just trying to look if there's any other interesting spell that hasn't really popped up for us. Let them go, we could have countered that. Lots of counters. We'll just go keep hitting them, I guess. Press the enemy, that's good. Ooh. Flame of Anor. Yep. They choose suicide.
Congratulations. You've
Suicide
done
by
it.
legendary artifact. Alright, it may seem a little too easy to do it with Sparky, but like I said, they would refuse to give us anybody else except the one person, and that person wouldn't even hang around when we won anymore. So, I suspect they got tired of playing me as the same and only person that they were being queued up against. So that's the deck. I like Gandalf the Grey. I especially like copying instants and sorceries, because that's another way to play cards without paying for the mana cost, just like Press the Enemy. And what else do we have here? I also like the Glamdring, even though that didn't really show up that much for the demonstration here. But again, another card that lets you play cards without paying for their mana cost. So I'm liking a lot of these cards. It's not a full counterspell set, really, right? Because we've got a couple of counter target creature spells. There aren't a whole lot more counter spells, so it's kind of light on the counter spells a tiny bit. But you know, that's why you mix it in with other sets. But I like all of the flavor on these. I like the artwork on these. I like the flavored text that they give. I like the way that they decided their abilities worked. So if I had more time, I'd definitely be making like a flash deck and that kind of stuff. Saruman the White turns out to be kind of cool. I think I need a different deck for Hugh the Endwood. I think this is the wrong type of deck for that. I like seeing a card like Breaking of the Fellowship. That's a nice effect that Magic doesn't do that often. They don't make where the two of your opponent's creatures deal damage to each other or fight each other or anything like that. That's kind of rare. But I really like the legendary artifacts they have. The Mithril Cold is awesome. The Palantir of Orthanc is awesome. I like Sting. I like Glamdring. Maybe Shire Scarecrow could leave. But Bilbo turned out to be really handy. Flame of Nor is awesome when you control a wizard. And Gandalf Sanction does nothing but get stronger and stronger. That's similar to a couple of cards we've seen before. But go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the cards, if anyone in particular is your favorite, and what you might do different. And with that, we'll end the demonstration. Thanks for hanging out. This is Travis from Tpull's Corner, signing off. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks, have a good one.